My name is Nicholas Brown. I'm a pre-engineering major, so I'm going to be transferring out after this semester to go to OSU for aerospace engineering. So I've always been kind of a nerd. I'm kind of interested in like space and like astronomy and stuff. So I wanted to get into hopefully some kind of space company like NASA or something, and I want to be a part of kind of getting people into space and learning more about the universe and everything. So I do a little bit of everything on the team. I've had a lot of involvement in the construction of the rocket, but I've also done some planning of the payload and some discussion on the payload, and I'll be designing the payload and integrating it into the rocket. But yeah, I do a whole lot on the team.
I'm Jay Sean Foster, and I'm a sophomore. My major is health and sports science, and education minor in computer science. I don't know why, but like playing football is like in a jump start. I actually do want to play professional ball, and I'm gonna try hard. You know, my heart is to get there. When you have a problem, you gotta like overcome the problem or find like another way to get to like that solution. It's like a new experience, I can say. And with the Rocketry team, I think it's a big step. Just being able to understand and learn about the rocketry and the rockets and stuff is really the main objective I'm trying to get out of it.
Here is applying fillets to the fin can and the fins. Since they're both made out of fiberglass, we'll have to kind of like sand the edges of the fins and sand the body of the rocket and the body of the fin can. The glue that we're using is the wet system epoxy glue. So it's like a two-step glue where you add the epoxy resin, then you add another hardener, and read through some carbon fiber in there to give it more of like a stronger hold, because it gives it more of like a thicker hair-like mixture.
Okay, so this is the rocket in RockSim, sort of the blueprints of it laid out. So right here we have the electronics bay of the rocket. We're going to have one ejection charge aft of this E-bay and one forward of the E-bay. And so the ejection charge after the E-bay will go off at apogee, and it'll separate this section of the rocket from the aft section of the rocket, the booster. This is the payload section of our rocket. And within this is another ejection charge that will be used to separate the payload from the payload bay. So right in here, this is kind of where our payload's going to lie within the payload section. So after that forward ejection charge goes off, the payload will separate with the nose cone attached to it, and the main chute will deploy, and this will happen probably about 1,000 feet. So the glider will go off from this point to deliver the payload to the target. So we've loaded the rocket here with an L1000W. We're not going to be using the 18-second delay on the motor ejection charge. So we'll have a center of gravity of 66 inches with this, a center of pressure of 91.54 inches, and our safety margin is going to be about 6.26 with this engine loaded. So we want to launch. We're probably going to reach about 8,200 feet altitude, and that's where our main ejection charge will separate the rocket into two different pieces. And then it'll kind of tumble for a second, and then there'll be another ejection charge that shoots out the payload with the glider attached. The glider will deploy, and if everything goes well, we'll control the glider and glide it down and land the payload right where we need it. Once we get to apogee of the rocket and the first ejection charge has gone off, there's going to be a chute release that measures the altitude of the rocket. So it'll wait until it hits a certain altitude and then deploy the main chute after the payload and everything has been separated off and gone on its way.
I was just gonna say, you looking at the first place right here. I'm just, I don't know what to say, but I feel our Rocket should come in first place, and that's it.